Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about high performance coaching in aquatics. Okay, there's a big difference between high performance coaching and different sports. So we need to define it. Okay. By the way, for those who doesn't know it, I'm a former national coach of the Philippine team. I'm a former foreign coach of Sabah, Malaysia, where I first trained them here in the Philippines. Then eventually, I went there to Sabah, Malaysia, because they saw me handling um, Makati skipjacks. Okay, then it was a dual meet between Malaysia and Philippines. Then the relationship started there because they were quite impressed with regards to my performance, where I dominated with my swimmers. I dominated all the events. Okay, they have about three coaches, Chinese coaches, and I'm the only one which is coaching for my team. Though I do have assistant coaches, but it's more of the the 90% totally mine. Okay, so for those who doesn't know yet, okay, a high performance is different from a level one. Okay, so the first one is the first status of being a coach. Okay, you start from being an instructress. Okay, you're doing a learn to swim. Then the next level is assistant coaching. Then after assistant coaching, you go for head coaching, which is the head coaching or as associate head coach, then head coaching. Head coaching, you need to have level one. Level one, after getting the level one, you will be next step will be high performance coaching. High performance coaching, when you say high performance, you there will be expectation for you to deliver. Okay? If you don't deliver, well, that's a problem. They are paying for you for them to expect something. Okay? They're paying for them to expect something. Though, what would you expect? Okay? If you don't learn high performance, you cannot easily deliver. Okay, you may say, okay, you credit it to the height, you credit it to the dropping of weight. Okay, you credit into to the growth. Okay, why? Do you think they will be increasing height every month? They will look at you. The parents will be expecting developments every month. See, they will be looking at and compare you as a coach from different coaches. If they're stagnant for about 3 months or 4 months or 6 months, bye bye, coach. I need to go to the other coach, which is I see developments on them. See, so the most important thing is for you to know high performance is the one that delivers. Okay, so let's define the high performance. Okay, a high performance coaching, high performance swim coaching focuses on maximizing elite potential through the personalized and data driven training. Okay, advanced biomechanical stroke analysis and mental preparation. It emphasizes the specialized and high intensity techniques such as interval training to optimize speed and efficiency. So, for example, you're preparing 8 100s. So you need to make it a broken you're making the 800 a broken 100s. Okay? So 8 times 100. Okay. We're doing um 8 100s, but we need to make it a point that this distribution will be perfect. Okay, so when we aim for 10 minutes, our target is 10 minutes. Okay, 10 minutes on a total time of 800. So what is 10 minutes on a total time 800 by 100? That's 115. What is the 115 by the 50? That's 37.5. Okay, so think about 37. So your aim is to swim at the 37, 37, 37, 37, 37, 37, 37. You start with uh, 16 by 50 on 1 minute. So make 37, 37, 37, 37, 37. Okay, next set, 16 by 50 on 55 seconds. 37, 37, 37, 37. The next set will be 16 by 50 on 50 seconds. 37, 37, 37, 37. Tomorrow, the next set will be 16 by 50 on 45 seconds. 37, 37, 37, 37. So, you will see the difference between you are giving splits which is designed on your program, which is you are designing it to have the interval training, okay, have the uh, target pace, okay, that's a pace, okay. So you need to look at the stroke analysis, okay, or am I doing 34 strokes per 50? How can I perfectly do 37, 37, 37, 37? The only way that you can perfectly do the 37, 37 is for you to do the stroke count. If you don't do the stroke count, definitely you may not, you are blind on what will happen on your time. Maybe it can be 39 or 40. See? So the only way that you can perfectly deal with it is to know, okay, define, okay, your coaching styles. Your coaching should be giving a program that defines your the whole target, the whole consistency, okay, and you have your aim for maturity, okay. So dropping the time, okay, will be maturity. For example, you can go descending, okay, 16 by 50 on 45 seconds. We go descending. You start 40, you start 30, next 39, 38, then 37. So you know how to deal with 39, you know how to deal with 38, you know how to deal with 37, okay. So that is why you need to know how to do your stroke analysis, okay. It's very, very important that you are very specific on what you're doing, okay. Okay, now we're going to the next one. Okay, as I said, okay, it is the stroke analysis and biomechanics. Utilize video analysis to refine technical flows that cost time. See, so for him to understand you perfectly, okay, the latest work now as a high performance coach is to be digital on your developments. You have your videos to give him, okay, this is the error, this is the error, okay. You know, you're doing only 37, okay, if you do this stroke count. You will be doing 39 if you do this kind of stroke count, okay. You need to give analysis, okay. You need to give them perfection on how they implement the swims, okay. Now, periodicize training. Structure the season to peak for specific competition, managing both training and volume and density. Okay, so definitely you're starting with a low mileage, then increase mileage. Okay, then you only drop the mileage, maintain, or go high, maintain or go high, maintain or go high. Now, for example, okay, we're starting this week with about 5,000 per session. So a total of 9 sessions, that will be 45,000 per week. If we will go for about 6,000 with 10 sessions, that's 60,000. Okay? Now, if you're doing about uh 8,000, okay, times 10 sessions, that's 80,000 per week. If you do have about that's take note that when you say 5,000, that's 5 kilometers. Okay, 10,000, that's 10 kilometers. That's 10,000 meters. Okay, for those who are not yet well versed with regards to swimming, okay, the 1,000 meters is equal for 1 kilometer. Okay, so you need to know the only way to periodicize is that you're designing when to peak. We're designing when to have that harvest. Okay, you're preparing when to explode. Okay, so it doesn't mean that you're not improving. Okay? It doesn't mean that you're not improving. Okay? You will be improving. You need to show the improvements because without improvements, the kid will not be motivated. The athlete, the coach, the coaching staff will not be motivated. And it will be wow, it's a domino effect. If one is complaining because he's not improving, then the others will start complaining also. So make it a point that you are. Okay, so many of the coaches are actually focusing on the 200 IM. Okay, so or a 400 IM. So he can have improvements on other strokes, and he has the improvement on the 200, whether if it's coming from the aerobic or the anaerobic. Okay, when you say anaerobic, that's intensity. Okay, that's hard. Okay, now if you say aerobic, okay, it's basically like a jogging. It's basically it's more of the endurance level. Okay, so you're just getting a cardio level. Okay, so that is where you're gonna be using your periodization or periodized training. Okay, if you're doing general endurance, speed endurance, and specific speed. So you need to know if you're gonna be using a macrocycle, okay, a mesocycle, or a microcycle. Okay, periodization deals with macrocycle, which is months. For example, for about 12 months, you're having major competitions, so you're gonna be dividing the whole year for 2 months, for 6 months, where you're hitting general endurance of general endurance 3 months, speed endurance 2 months, specific speed 1 month. So sometimes you can go 2 2 2. Okay, two 2 months for general endurance, 2 months on uh, speed endurance, and 2 months on specific speed. Because normally, okay, if you're talking about simulation, the simulation is actually the big heart of the developments. Okay, the simulation is actually the maturity. Okay, so for example, 15 by 100, 5 by 300. Okay, uh, you're talking of 10 by 150. You're talking of the maturity. Yeah, okay, 15 by 100, about 5 sets. Okay, first set will be uh, 15 by 100 on 130. Second set will be 15 by 100 on 125. Third set will be 15 by 100 on 120. Then fourth set will be 15 by 100 on 115. You reduce the time, okay, the cycle time, and you definitely he will reduce the times also that he's targeting. He will drop the times that he's targeting. So the maturity is coming from there because you're dropping the time and you're also dropping whether if it's an EN1, EN2, EN3, EN1, EN2, EN3 endurance. Okay? The EN1 is about 85%, EN2 is about 90%, EN3 is about 95 to 100%. Now, if you're already are in the speed, okay, you call that SP1, SP2, SP3. The the speed will be 80. SP1 will be you're talking about 85%. SP2 is about 90%. SP3 is about 95% to 100%. Okay, so that is what you call periodized training. The structuring season to pick for specific competition, managing both training and volume and density. Now, the question there, why is it that he's a national team? His best time is 108 on 100 breast, but he's doing 109. Okay, take note. He is not peaking there. His muscles are heavy. The muscles are heavy yet. You're gonna be expecting that they're gonna be peaking, okay, on the end of the year. Okay, that's the time you as a coach, you need to know that if it's gonna be hard muscles, heavy muscles, you cannot easily cut your time. But tell you, as a coach, you need to learn it's 90% mental, okay, on competition, and 10% your body training. Your muscle will train. Take note. That is why sprinters are so brave. That is why sprinters are ready to explode because their mental thing is so big. Okay, even though that they are not training like the distance. Okay, they are equipped because their mental power is so big. The sprinters are not actually training heavily like the distance swimmers. Even half of the mileage of the distance swimmers, they are not even there. Okay? Are you catching up, guys? I would like to see for those who are actually attending, okay? I would like to see 5 hearts, okay? 5 hearts if you are actually listening, okay? Please, I want to see 5 hearts if you're actually listening, okay? Thank you. Okay, good. Now, that's the thing on periodized training. Okay, now we're going to mental and physical preparation. Mental, you are focusing on the race strategies and psychological resilience. In some cases, tailored nutritional guidance. Okay, we're talking about focusing on the race strategies. Okay, so some of the some of the 200s are really good. They're gonna be killing you on the start. First 15, they're gonna explode. Okay, so just to destroy your pace. Then they're gonna be swimming, relax. Okay, 50, 100, 200, then all out on the last 50. Okay, so that's race strategies. Okay, or the 800, they're gonna be pacing you. Okay, relax. You will do a sacrifice of the first 50 to have the 750, the rest of the 50s. Okay, to be relaxed. So if you sacrifice the first 50 of the 400, the 800, of the 1,500, the benefit will be the next 50s will benefit. But if you burn the first 50 and the other 50s of the 400, 800, and 1,500 will definitely be affected. And then you call me, Coach, why is it that the triathlon or the open water swimmers are doing all out all the way? Some of them are leading the pack or whatsoever. Okay, it's like this. Very simple. They lead the pack, yes. They are first on the start. They lead it. Then eventually they're pacing, but they are maintaining their lead. It doesn't mean that they are all the way doing 100%. See? It's just that they just wanted to be the lead. Okay? So those who wanted to aspire to take the lead, it's going to be a race for them. And at the same time, yeah, they're going to be, uh, well, pace, get breakaway, pace, breakaway, pace. That's the open water. Okay? Basically the same with the 800 and the 1,500. Pace, breakaway, pace, breakaway. It's like that. Okay? So the mental and physical preparation, you are training. You are doing simulation. Okay, we're going um, preparation for the 200 fly. We're going 4 by 50 on 1 minute. Okay, 4 by 50 on 45 seconds. 4 by 50 on 40 seconds. 4 by 50 on 40 or 35 seconds. See? But you're going to be hitting about 28, 28, 28, 28. See? It's really up to you. It's a physical preparation. Sometimes, okay, give me a push up, okay, before doing the 4 by 50. Okay? So mentally, you know that you had the 10 sets of push-ups, okay, or 20 sets of push-ups before you do the 4 by 50. See? Think about it. Okay? So you are already physically prepared. Okay? Mental, take note. You can easily break your best time on the training itself without tapering. So it's a mental thing. Okay? So don't tell me that you cannot perform on the competition because you had been, okay, doing best times on the training. You call that PBs, man. Okay? Best times. Okay. Holistic development. The balancing of rigorous physical training with the recovery and maintaining a positive, engaging environment to keep swimmers motivated. Okay, let's put it this way. You have your way, okay? Like, for example, the other way around Coach Sergio Lopez, okay? Coach Sergio Lopez, we're doing, okay, save the team. Okay. Anybody can save the team. There's no workout today. Okay. Save the team. Okay. Give me anybody who can do 48 on the training. Okay. 48. 100 free. Then here comes. There's a 48. See? It's really a challenge. Okay. It's really a challenge. The most important thing here is for you to know, okay, that it's always good to challenge anybody. But be sure that when you challenge the team, okay, there should be you're not gonna be you're not gonna be actually uh the if his best time is about 48, 49, challenge him on the 48. If his best time is 48, challenge him on 47. Okay? So it's basically what? You're hitting two birds at one stone. Okay? Okay, the team wanted to prove something. It's once in a week, okay? Okay? Or you're gonna be having three main sets, okay? Okay, you don't want to go for the third main set, okay? There should be somebody who will be breaking the time, okay, or breaking the Philippine record or breaking the world record just today, okay? And the whole team will only swim two main set. See, you need to know how to handle it. Okay, holistic developments will be done. Okay, if there will be 5 best times for today, okay, all of the swimmers go up, or anybody who breaks best times goes up easily. See, simple. Okay, anybody, all swimmers should have 4 best times today before they go up. So it's basically a holistic. Okay, we're going to the next. Okay, we're going to, you see there, that's this is actually the backstroke workout of Bob Bowman. Okay, so you're talking about, okay, the 400 at 6 minutes, 500 on this time, 200 on this time, 100 on this time. Okay, so you have a target. Okay, that's a style of the workout. Okay, so that is the high performance. It's basically straight swim. It's a straight swim. 400, 500, 200, 100, 8 by 50, 400, 500, 200, 100, 8 by 50. It's like that. It's a straight swim. Okay? For you to understand that how you deliver on a high performance training.
Hello, Facebook friends. It's October 13th, 2010. We're at the beautiful outdoor Meadowbrook Aquatic Center. The water's 80 degrees and we're enjoying the last day of sunshine maybe for a while. We're doing a backstroke set today, which is a good early season set we like to do. Come over and take a look. We're going a 400, 300, 200, 100, where they descend effort each swim. Then they get 850s of drilling. They come back with a 3-2-1 where everything's faster, 850s of drilling, a 2-1 where they're really getting into it, 850s of drilling, and then finally a really good 100 on the end right here. The goal is to kind of increase the general speed each round, and you see we help them by bringing the base interval down and also descending down to a fast 100 each round. So hopefully we're going to get 4 really good 100s, and they'll be able to improve their stroke, improve their range of stroke through the course of the set. It's a pretty good conditioner, 3200, and I think they'll do a good job with it. We traditionally have good results on this. That's all for now. Enjoy the video of some of our great swimmers. See you later.
The system is 400, okay, 300, 200, 100. Basically, it's a 130. 400 is a 130 base. 400, 4 times 130 is 6 minutes. See? 300, okay, times 130 is 430. See? Then 200 on 3 minutes, that's actually 130 per 100. You need to know where to deal with. Okay? You're starting there. Actually, that's aerobic still. Then it speeds up. Then it speeds up. Okay? So, it's a straight swim, but you will see there where they go for a feel. Okay? They basically get the feel of how to sprint it up. Okay? Then they start sprinting on the 8 by 50. Okay? Again, they're trying to go for aerobic, 300, 200, 100, then 8 by 50 again. Then 200, 100, then 8 by 50 again. So you need to know how to formulate that you can bring out the best at the end. Okay? the latest now is that you really need to do that, okay, before you swim. Now, it's boring already that you've been doing on the level of the level of the high performance and the elite, okay? So, it's gonna be boring if the kid had been swimming from 7 years old to about 17 years old, and you're just repeating your workout. Okay? So if you're after for lactic buildup sets, you're gonna be doing the lactic buildup for about 1 hour to 1.5 hour on the dry land, or 2 hours on the dry land. Then you're just gonna swim for about 1 hour, more or less, or about 1.5 hour, 90 minutes, which is really there. Okay, so taking off, taking off the dry land, okay, it's like basically tapering already. Okay, so the dry land, well, it's gonna be hard from the start. Okay, so definitely you need to be progressive, like do the dry land first on the first month for about 30 minutes, the second month for about 1 hour, the third month increases, the fourth month increases. It all depends on how is the level of intensity, okay, that your muscles can really take. Okay, so you need to understand the levels. Okay, now you need to understand also, okay, the 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 whole dryland training
My
on
name is
this.
Katie Kreider. I am a Human Performance Master's student at the University of Florida and swim coach for Gator Swim Club. I will be presenting to you some information about dryland training for age group swimmers, specifically about applied plyometric and strength exercises. What is dryland? For those unfamiliar, dryland training is a combination of stretching, both dynamic and static, plyometrics, strength exercises with or without resistance, and focused core work, running, and prehab to strengthen muscles around joints to reduce the risk of injury. Age group swimmers are trained competitive swimmers ages 5 to 18, competing in age groups at meets. Age groups are typically 10 and under, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, or usually everyone older than 15 is lumped into the same age group. Swimmers in each of these age groups vary greatly in skill, experience, and speed, and their dryland training should reflect his or her individual ability. Dryland training is deemed important by coaches around the world for a variety of reasons, including the athlete's development of physical literacy, general and fine motor skills, coordination and body awareness, strength, flexibility, muscular endurance, and power. Injury prevention is also commonly cited by coaches as a reason to do certain dryland exercises. By doing exercises outside of the pool, it breaks up the monotony of swim practice and gives an opportunity for more focused training. The nature of swim practice in the pool is highly individual, and dryland allows for social interaction and team building between swimmers. As promised, I am going to talk about applied and transferable plyometrics and applied strength training for age group swimmers specifically. First, plyometrics are exercises in which an athlete demonstrates explosive reactive power through a range of motion. For swimmers, this would apply to the swim starts for all strokes and push-offs from the wall when executing a turn. Whether the turn is an open turn, flip turn, or medley transition, the push-off is more or less the same motion, similar to a squat jump. Some common and simple plyometric exercises for swimmers of all ages are squat jumps, streamline hops where the swimmer is focusing on holding a tight streamline, start jumps in which the swimmer takes his mark and leaps up, burpees, split squat jumps, vertical jump for height, and long jump for distance. Some exercises with equipment that are still beneficial for swimmers are jumping rope, box jumps, and depth jumps, where the swimmer stands on the box, lands, and immediately reacts by jumping into streamline, mimicking the reaction needed when their feet hit the wall in a turn. In the water, a swimmer does not complete a turn or a start that does not result in a streamline, so it is important to instill the habit of actively streamlining when transferring skills from the water to dry land and then back to the water. Swimmers in general have extremely well-conditioned aerobic and anaerobic energy systems from the nature of swimming. A swimmer of any age with developed or developing energy systems will still cite muscular fatigue after a race, whether they did well or not. It is important to train upper and lower and core muscle groups equally for muscular endurance to prolong high performance. Strength training for age group swimmers is similar to any other simple strength and conditioning program with squats, lunges, and step-ups to develop lower body strength and push-ups and pull-ups for the upper body. These exercises are relatively simple to teach and can be used as a base for other exercises. For example, a squat can be done as an isometric squat to further develop muscular endurance rather than just doing hundreds of squats for the same effect. Your swimmers will thank you for breaking up the monotony, maybe not so much for their burning glutes and quads. As the swimmers get older and more experienced, these strength exercises can be enhanced with weighted medicine balls, free weights, stability balls, and resistance bands to help further develop coordination along with strength. There is never a time while swimming the core muscles are not used. Core muscles include all muscles that attach to the spinal column or the pelvis. An imbalance in strength in any of these muscles can result in injury. The previously mentioned both plyometric and strength exercises can develop the core muscles, but coaches can implement a more focused core work that applies to in-water skills. Some core exercises that mimic swimming include flutter kick and its variations like dolphin kick. Rows or V-ups use the same abdominal contraction necessary when executing an open turn like the one in the diagram. Planks and all of its variations are excellent for developing strength and muscular endurance of the entire core simultaneously. Age group swimmers can start with a basic plank on elbows or hands, and as they become stronger and more developed, they can advance to more complex and strenuous plank exercises. Planks develop an awareness of body position that can be transferred to their swimming. It is important not to neglect developing the core muscles in the back, so Supermans and similar exercises are important to implement as well. There are many other core exercises that can be transferred from swimming to dryland. A coach just must use their imagination and some critical thinking to find them. When incorporating a dryland program, there are some important things to consider. First and foremost, dryland training should be engaging for athletes and fun, especially for the younger ones. The exercises in the program should be progressive and individualized. A skill that a swimmer learns when they are young or just beginning can progress into a more complex dryland exercise as they gain strength, coordination, and experience. On the same note, exercises should be age appropriate in intensity and complexity. At a younger age, the dryland focus should be on proper form and encouraging them to think about why it might be important for swimming, possibly making their exercises a game. For the older, more experienced swimmer, dryland is an extension of their training in the pool, and the exercises should reflect their ability and enhance in-water skills through building strength, coordination, and power. While nearly all swim coaches implement dryland training in their programs, dryland training with plyometrics and strength have not been proven as necessary to improve swimming performance by research, but past history and what successful coaches do with their swimmers are used as models for training programs. This is likely because dryland has not been proven as detrimental by research or coaching in swimming history. In fact, some studies have shown that swimmers' sprinting performance consistently improved 1.3 to 4.4% with dryland training. In a 50 freestyle at the Olympics, that's the difference between a gold medal and not even making finals. However, these studies are conflicting among age group swimmers. Other studies say that there was not a statistically significant improvement in swimming performance due to dryland and plyometric training, as opposed to no dryland, no matter if it was a sprint or a longer distance race. Until dryland training is proven as detrimental, coaches should implement age-appropriate, progressive, and properly supervised dryland training programs utilizing applied plyometric and strength exercises to help build coordination, strength, and muscular endurance in their swimmers. I urge all coaches to do their own research. There is no one best way to do dryland. Here are my own references. Happy swimming and go Gators!
It's really boring, okay, if if for the elite level high performance coaching, Okay. For example, you have all of their swimmers are class A or double A or triple A or at the elite level already. If you don't do the dry land, the tendency is that it's gonna be boring, and the dry land is actually fast on developing lactic acid. Okay, so if you enter the water with a very hard muscles already, okay, so you're warmed up already, you can start with with a warm up swim of a sprint. So you're doing a sprint every time you enter the water on the start. You can do sprint because your muscles are warmed already for about 1 hour or 90 minutes of your dry land. Okay, so you're ready to go explosive. So the warm up of the swim, you can do 16 times 15-meter one breathing explosive swim of butterfly and freestyle. Okay, so you need to understand that doing so, okay, will give you a a big edge, okay, a big edge that, hey, I'm used on doing explosive up upon the first time that I enter the water. That is actually automatic in your mind. Okay? When you enter the water, I'm explosive already. I'm used to do it. And I'm doing that 300 days in a year. So so for example, you're coming from a place which is really far, okay? And uh like in Asia Pacific, Pacific School Games year 2000. You know, Sayak is about, wow, 2 kilometers or more than 2 kilometers from the bus area. They're gonna be walking for about 2 kilometers before you reach the Sayak, the aquatic center. So it doesn't mean that the you walk for about 2 kilometers and you will be, wow, you will be having a hard time exploding because you walk for 2.5 kilometers. You will say, I, I tapered for 15 days or 21 days, then I'm gonna be doing this kind of walk. See, so make it the point that you're ready for that. Okay, there are hosts that hits you like that. Okay, so you need to be ready that they're gonna be putting all of the parking area at the 2 kilometers or 4 kilometers away from the aquatic center. See, how can you perform if you tapered? Normally, you're tapered. You're making your muscles soft. Okay, that's why. Okay.
It was stupid hard. 200 freestyle on 220, 200 IMs on 220, hold as fast as you can hold, 400 free on 440, 200 IMs, 600 free, 200 IMs on 215, 800 free, 200 IM all out. It's called the Janet Evans set. That's what Bob said it was.
To imagine how fast is that? Okay, that's a straight set, man. It's a straight set. The yellow is the recovery. The yellow is the recovery. It's a straight set. Imagine that straight set is a normal for the elite level of Bob Bowman. 4 by 200 on 220 IM. So you're going to be hitting what? 3 by 200 on 220, 200 IM. 2 by 200 IM on 215. Fast, huh? And one time, 200 IM fast. See? That's a straight swim. That's a straight swim. How can you imagine that time? So if you're doing 1 by 200 free, okay, on 220, you're gonna be doing about 208 or 204. Okay, so for 400 on 440, you're gonna be doing about um, the 420 or 415 on the 403, but still you're gonna be doing fast on the IMs. That is how powerful you are. So you make it the point that your muscles are ready to take that power, that speed. Pushes the
It's called
kids. Oh, I'm gonna be doing this. It's a challenge. It's always a challenge. It's something that provokes me to do more. Okay? It always gives me adrenaline to do dryland training. It gives me more of the happiness on doing the dryland training. Why? Okay. It's actually always a challenge to do more. You need to accept, okay? You want a challenge. You want something new. You want something to it's like you don't eat Jollibee 365 days a year. You're gonna taste McDonald's. You're gonna be tasting Wendy's. You're gonna be tasting another, okay, another restaurant. You wanted to challenge yourself doing something new. Okay? So the dry land is something new for you. And it's fun. Okay? It adds more of the adrenaline while you're training.
Practice and Pancakes. As always, I'm your host, Coleman Hodges. I am here at Carla's Taco Shop, aka Los Favoritos in Tempe, Arizona, and we just went to a practice with the Arizona State swim team. We just finished the afternoon practice, but I am here munching on this scrumptious breakfast burrito. Fresh out the oven. Oh my gosh, that is good. Shout out to Herbie Bame and the ASU Mango Group for giving me this recommendation. This is a very cute little shop. I think they have a lot of Los Favoritos around. This one is called Carla's, but I've been told it's basically the same thing. If you're ever in Tempe, Arizona, come check it out. Great burritos. I'm sure they have great tacos as well. Good way to start your day, and for me, good way to end it. There was a lot happening on this Wednesday afternoon in Tempe, but in this video, I'm just focusing on Bob Bowman's mid-distance group. Pros just came off of 3 weeks at the OTC, followed by competing at the US Open. That was about a week and a half ago. They're getting right back into it through Christmas. Some people will go home for the holidays, and some people, including the foreign athletes like Hubert Koch and Leon Marchand, for example, will stay in Tempe and train with Bowman. So I'm gonna go down the line and try not to forget any NCAA All-Americans, US national team members, or international Olympians that were just in this training group for this practice. We had Leon Marchand, Hubert Koch, Chase Kalish, Jay Litherland, Drew Kibler, Paige Madden, Lindsay Looney, Ilya Karoun. And that's only half the group, and I'm probably forgetting some people. Oh yeah, Luca Orlando. Needless to say, this was a stacked practice, and Bowman kept a tight ship. They did 7K in about an hour and 40 minutes. And if you're a swim nerd out there, you know that that is moving. Bowman kept the intervals tight throughout the warm-up and the main set, which he said is one of his favorites to throw at his athletes.
I don't know. That's what I'm. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 50. Round 1, goal 500. 650, fast. 650, fast. Round 3.
anytime you have this many aerobic juggernauts going head to head to head to head to head, it's bound to produce massive results in a practice. And this workout was no exception. So for the main set, what we're looking at is 3 rounds. Aerobic swim, 50 fast. Aerobic swim, 2 50s fast. Aerobic swim, 3 50s fast. Now the aerobic swims were on very tight intervals, and then the 50s were all on 40 seconds on the first round, 45 seconds on the second round, 50 seconds on the third round. We just had a guest star on today's practice of pancakes. This practice made me very aware of what sets Leon Marchand apart from everyone else in the NC2A. His underwaters on these 50s were elite, and he got down to, get this, 20 point on a push 50 freestyle in the middle of an intense threshold set. Yeah.
All right, here we go. Back under. Ready? Come on, stick slow. Let's go. Come on, let's fire your legs up. We gotta get down there. Back up. Good. 1-8. 2-3. 1-8. You guys all right, let's go. Ready? Very good. Hey, let's do another round. Sounds like a win. Stay right on it. 8, 9, 8. nice work on that. Let's just keep it going. Make sure you're sleeping. Key element here, right? So I'm not going to really reduce things. I'm going to kind of ramp it up a little bit. So great job today. Hoobie, go ahead.
Yeah, Hoover.
Wow, proud of you, Hoobie. That was on 3, 1, 2, go!
If you're talking about the high performance, okay, you're there for the 350 days in a year for the elites, 300 days for the juniors, and 250 days for the age group. 250 days for the age group because you're doing Monday to Friday only. Okay, the the juniors is about Monday to Saturday. That's about 300 days. Okay, 350 days if you're including it on Sundays. Okay, so if you take off the Sundays, definitely there are 50 Sundays in a year or 52. Now, if you're talking about taking off the Sundays, okay, that will be only uh 300 days of your training, 305 days sometimes, okay? So, the program, you're supposed to be handling the program. You divide the program. If you're going to be doing about 2 competitions, you're going to divide the program for 2 competition, and your maturity is what 300 days divided by 2, it's only about 150 days maturity. Of the 150 days of maturity, you're going to be taking off 14 days to 21 days of the taper. So basically, the 150 minus 15 days, it's about 135 days of maturity on your simulation. Now, number one, even though that you're doing the general endurance, like for example, 5 sets of two for the distance, 5 sets of 15 by 100 on 130, you're still there for the maturity where you have a main set that you're making anaerobic workout. Anaerobic workout is the intensity. Now, for example, you're maintaining intensity of 2000 intensity per session, okay? Or in the specific, the the general endurance, usually you maintain about more of the aerobic than anaerobic, 2000 only or 3000, okay? Then you increase the anaerobic if you're going for uh the speed endurance stage. Normally you have 2 months or 3 months on general endurance, 2 months on specific speed endurance, then 2 months on specific speed. Now, it doesn't mean that you are on the endurance, you're not giving speed, a little bit of the speed, okay? So if you're on the general endurance, the main set is actually speed endurance. If you are on the speed endurance, the main set is actually use a specific speed. Now, if you're doing the specific speed, okay, you're simulating, okay, the 800, the 1500, the 400, the 200. You are doing the simulations for that. So there will be maturity, which is really ready to pick on the due date. For example, your due date is about what? You're aiming for Olympics, that's 4 years, that's 1,400 days, okay, maturity. So you're aiming for that regardless of the competitions for the 3 years, okay, you're aiming to have that maturity for 1,400 days. Now, how do you define the maturity? Okay, like let's put it like this. It's a few minutes only. Okay, hello, are you there? If you're there, please give me uh um 2 hearts. If you're there, please give me. You're listening. Please give me a 2 hearts. Okay. If you're listening, please give me 2 hearts. Okay. Now, for example, Okay, you're doing 15 by 100 on Monday, 15 by 100 on 130. You're hitting 111, 111, 111, 111, 111, 111, 111. So the next 2 days or 3 days, you can cut 110, 110, 110, 110, 110, 110, 110, 110, 110. The next 2 days or 3 days or 4 days, you're going 109, 109, 109, 109, 109, 109, 109. The next 2 days or 3 days or 5 days, you're going 108, 108, 108, 108, 108, 108, 108, 108. Then the next 2 days or 5 days, you're doing 107, 107, 107, 107, 107. The next 2 days or 10 days, you're doing 106, 106, 106, 106, 106, because you are having the maturity. Okay? So, the maturity stands for your consistency. Okay? So, Monday, you're going 15 by 100. Tuesday, 10 by 150. Thursday, uh, uh, the target is 1,500. So about for 8 times 200, 8 times 200, uh, you're getting the maturity on that. Then the next thing is 5 times 300. You're getting the maturity of that. It's like that. Okay, you're getting the maturity every week. You need to get the maturity of that. Okay, you have your pattern. You have your pattern. Okay, we're going for Monday will be 300s. Tuesday will be 200s. Thursday, Wednesday will be 150s. Uh, uh, Friday will be 100s. It's like that. You have your pattern. You have, but tell you need to introduce something which is good on the minor set. Okay, that is not gonna be boring, or the kick set that is not gonna be boring. You need to integrate something which is new. Okay, or else that will be, wow, you need to know that it's gonna be boring. Okay, guys, I hope you learned a
That
lot.
we could talk
Okay,
about someday. This mental skills for young athletes. It's really a nice book. The Canadian coaches did it. I just helped get it into print. But I think we should be done, and then I'll just show a prior podcast if people wanted to listen.
okay,
Good night.
guys, good
Good
night,
day.
good night.